नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानज्वलशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगुण रघुनाथं रतं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं हरिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादां सगुणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हरिकृष्ण करुणासिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधा कान्तानुमस्तुते भक्तकांक्षं योगाङ्गी राजे वृन्दावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुतो देवी प्रणमामि हरिक्षे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय विष्णुदेशाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निर्विशेष पाश्चात्य श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे थैंक यू ब्रो हरे कृष्ण हरे बोल
Haribo, thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, today we are going to read Nectar of Instruction. So I need to find it. Okay, I think we can start from the text number 1. Hare Krishna, Lebhang Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Haribo.
Prabhu, do you want to start reading?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandot Pranam.
हरे कृष्ण
Yes, Prabhu, I can start.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Just a moment, I want to tilt my phone. Yes, Prabhu. Okay. Vato vegam manasaha kaha vegam. Jiva vegam udaropastaha vegam. Etan vegan yo ishatheta diraha. Sarvam apimam prativim sa shishyat. Can you chant it, Prabhu?
Vacho vegam manasah krodha vegam jihva vegam udarapashta vegam itan veganyo vishaheta dira sarvam api mam pritivim sasishyat.
Haribu. Symptoms, vachaha, of speech, vegam, urge, manasaha, of the mind, da, of anger, vegam, urge, jiva, jiva, of tongue, vegam, urge, udara, staha, of the base, gentles, yeah, vegam, urge, etan, these, vegan, urges, yaha, whoever, vishaheta, can tolerate, diraha, sober, sarvam, all, api, certainly, imam, this, prativim, world, saha, that, personality, shishyat, can make disciples. I thought it is discipline. Yes, Prabhu, you can go down. Is it a long one, Prabhu? I'll determine the speed. Or is it a short purport?
I think every purport is long one in this one.
Okay, no problem. You can go, Prabhu.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. It's really long one. It's, yes, Prabhu. Prabhu. Where it is? Here.
I'll give to someone if I feel tired.
Yes, Prabhu.
Translation: a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, barely and gentles, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. I think I remember this sloka, Prabhu. Is this no? This is not Bhagavad Gita. Oh, Nectar of Devotion.
Yes.
Okay.
This is Nectar of Instruction.
Oh, instruction. Devotion, like in the Ishtagoshti.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu.
Today
And I think we've read it once.
Yes, Prabhu, 2
In
times.
the
And
reading.
now we again are reading it, and for Sunday, because Karti Prabhu said we have to read it the Thursday and Saturday.
Okay, yes, Prabhu. Purport: by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Okay.
In Srimad Bhagavatam 6:1-9-10, Parikshit Maharaj placed a number of intelligent persons before Sukadeva Goswami. One of these questions was, why do people undergo atonement if they cannot call their senses? For instance, a thief may know perfectly well that he may be arrested for his stealing, and he may actually even see a thief arrested by the police, yet he continues to steal. Experience is gathered by hearing and seeing. One who is less intelligent gathers experience by seeing, and one who is more intelligent gathers experience by hearing, which is hard. When an intelligent person hears from the law books and shastras or scriptures that stealing is not good, and hears that a thief is punished when arrested, he refrains from theft. A less intelligent person may first have to be arrested and punished for stealing to learn to stop stealing. However, a rascal, a foolish man, may have the experience of both hearing and seeing, and may even be punished, but still he continues to steal. Even if such a person attains and is punished by the government, he will again commit theft as soon as he comes out of jail. If punishment in jail is considered atonement, what is the benefit of such atonement? Thus Parikshit Maharaj inquires. Drista Shruta Bayam Yat Papam Jana Api Atmano Hitam Karoti Buyo Visaha Parya Chitam Ato Kartam Kavachan Nivartate Bahadrat Kvachich. Oh, Prabhu, how do you pronounce this one? C-I-C. Kvachich. Semi Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
How do you pronounce that? Vachich. Is it Vachich or
Kvachit charati tat puna. Kvachit charati tat puna.
Okay. Kvachich charati tata punaha prayaschitam ato paratham manye kunjara a sauchavat. Sauchavat. I need to go through the Sanskrit, Srimad Bhagavatam 6:1-10. He compared atonement to an elephant's bathing. The elephant may take a very nice bath in the river, but as soon as it comes on to the bank, it throws dirt all over its body. What then is the value of its bathing? Similarly, many spiritual practitioners chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and at the same time commit many forbidden things, thinking that the chanting will counteract the offenses. Of the 10 types of offenses one can commit while chanting the holy names of the Lord, this offenses is called Namno Balad Yasyahi Papa Budir. Committing sinful activities on the strength of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I think that's the 7th offense, né? Yes. Similarly, certain Christians go to church to confess their sins, thinking that confessing their sins before a priest and performing some penance will relieve them from the results of their weekly sins. As soon as Saturday is over and Sunday comes, they again begin the sinful activity, expecting to be forgiven the next Saturday. This kind of prayashchitta or atonement is condemned by Parikshit Maharaj, the most intelligent king of his time. Sukadev Goswami, equally intelligent as befitting the spiritual master of Maharaj Parikshit, answered the king and confirmed that his statement concerning attainment was correct. A sinful activity cannot be counteracted by a pious activity. Thus, real prayashchitta attainment is the awakening of our dormant Krishna consciousness. Real attainment involves coming to real knowledge, and for this, there is a standard process. When one follows a regulated, hygienic process, he does not fall sick. A human being is meant to be trained according to certain principles to revive his original knowledge. Such a methodical life is described as tapasya. One can be gradually elevated to the standard of real knowledge or Krishna consciousness by practicing austerity and celibacy, brahmacharya, by controlling the mind, by controlling the senses, by giving up one's possessions in charity, by being avowedly truthful, by keeping clean, and by practicing yoga asana. Interesting. However, if one is fortunate enough to get the association of pure devotee, he can easily practice for controlling the mind by the mystic yoga processes simply by following the regulated principle of Krishna consciousness. If meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, and by engaging in the service of the Supreme Lord under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master. This is process recommended by Srila Rupa Goswami. First, control his speaking power. Every one of us has the power of speech. As soon as we get an opportunity, we begin to speak. If we do not speak about Krishna consciousness, we speak about all sorts of nonsense. A toad in a field speaks by croaking, and similarly, everyone who has a tongue wants to speak, even if all he has to say is nonsense. The croaking of the toad, however, simply invites the snake. Please come here and eat me. Nonetheless, although it is inviting death, the toad goes on croaking. The talking of materialistic men and impersonalist Mayavadi philosophers may be compared to the croaking of frogs. They are always speaking nonsense and thus inviting death to catch them. Can I just take a screenshot? Controlling speech, however, does not mean self-imposed silence. The external process, ma'una, as Mayavadi philosophers think, silence may appear helpful for some time, but ultimately it proves a failure. The meaning of controlled speech conveyed by Srila Rupa Goswami advocates the positive process of Krishna Katha, engaging the speaking process in glorifying the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. The tongue can thus glorify the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. The preacher of Krishna Katha is always beyond the clutches of death. This is the significance of controlling the urge to speak. The restlessness or flickerness of the mind, manovega, is controlled when one can fix mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. The Chaitanya Charitam, Chaitanya Charitam. How do you pronounce it, Prabhu? Charitam Reta.
Yes, Prabhu.
Madhya 22:31 says, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andakara. Yahan Krishna Tahan Nahi Mayara Adhikara. Krishna is just like the sun, and Maya is just like darkness. If the sun is present, there is no question of darkness. Similarly, if Krishna is present in the mind, there is no possibility of the minds being agitated by Maya influence. The yogic process of negating all material thoughts will not help. To try to create a vacuum in the mind is artificial. The vacuum will not remain. However, if one always thinks of Krishna and how to serve Krishna, Hare Krishna, Amit Prabhu, please accept humble obeisances of glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hare Krishna by Prabhupada. Jai Shri.
Okay. Okay. Krishna and how to serve Krishna. One's mind will naturally be controlled. Similarly, anger can be controlled. We cannot stop anger altogether. But if we simply become angry with those who blaspheme the Lord or the devotees of the Lord, we can control our anger in Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry with the miscreant brothers Jagai and Madai, who blasphemed and struck Nityananda Prabhu in his Shishastaka. Lord Chaitanya wrote, Trinarapi Sunichena Taro Api Saheshnuna. We should be humbler than the grass and more tolerant than the tree. One may then the Lord exerted his anger. The point is that one should be ready to tolerate all insults itself, but when Krishna or his pure devotee is blasphemed, a genuine devotee becomes angry and acts like against the offender. Krodha cannot be, it can be applied rightly. It is anger that woman set her to Lanka, the great devotee of Ramachandra. This means that he utilized his anger in the right way. Arjuna serves as another example. He was not willing to fight. Krishna incited his anger. You must fight. To fight without anger is not possible. Anger is controlled, however, when utilized in the service of the Lord. As for the urges of the tongue, we all experience that the tongue wants to eat palatable dishes. Generally, we should not allow the tongue to eat according to its choice, but should control the tongue by supplying prasad. The devotee's attitude is that we will eat only when Krishna gives him prasad. That is the way to control the urge of the tongue. One should take prasada at scheduled times and should not eat restaurants or sweet meat shops simply to satisfy the whims of the tongue or belly. If we stick to the principle of taking only prasad, the urges of the belly and tongue can be controlled. In a similar manner, the urges of the gentles, the sex impulse can be controlled when not used unnecessarily. The gentles should be used to beget a Krishna conscious child. Otherwise, they should not be used. The Krishna conscious movement encourages marriage not for the section of the gentles, but for the begetting of Krishna conscious children. As soon as the children are a little grown up, they are sent to our Gurukula school, where they are trained to serve. You can go down, Prabhu. Become fully Krishna conscious devotees. Many such Krishna conscious children are required, and only one who is capable of bringing forth Krishna conscious offspring is allowed to utilize his gentles. When one is fully practiced in the method of Krishna conscious control, he can become qualified to be a bona fide spiritual master. In his Anuvriti explanation of Upadeshamrita, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura writes that our material identification creates three kinds of urges: the urges to speak, the urge or demands of the mind, and the demands of the body. When a living entity falls victim to these three types of urges, his life becomes inauspicious. One who practices resisting these demands or urges is called tapasvi, or one who practices austerities. By such tapasya, one can overcome victimization by the material energy, the external potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we refer to the urge to speak, we refer to useless talking, such as that of the impersonal Mayavadi philosopher, or of a person's engaged in fruitive activities, technically called karma kanda, or of materialistic people who simply want to enjoy life without restriction. All such talks or literatures are practical exhibitions of the urge to speak. Many people are talking nonsensically and writing volumes of useless books, and all this is the result of the urge to speak. To counteract this tendency, we have to divert our talking to the subject of Krishna. This is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam 1:5-10-11. Na yat vachas chitra padam hare yaso jagat pavitra pavitram pragrinita karichet tat vayasam titram ushanti manasa na yatra hamsa niramanti ushki kshaya. Those words which do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly persons to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows. Since the all-perfect persons are inhabitants of the transcendental abode, they do not derive any pleasure. They do not derive any pleasure there. Tat vag visagro janata gaha viplavo yasmin prati slokam abadavanti api namni anantasya yaso nikitani yat shrinvati gayanti grenati sadavaha. On the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc. of the unlimited supreme Lord is a different creation full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the pious lives of this world, misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literatures, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. The conclusion is that only when we about devotional, yes, you can go down, Prabhu. Devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can refrain from useless, nonsensical talk. We should always endeavor to use our speaking power solely for the purpose of realizing Krishna consciousness. As for the agitations of the bickering mind, they are divided into two divisions. The first is called aviroda, priti, or unrestricted attachment. And the other is called viroda, yukta, krodaha, anger arising from frustration, adheres to the philosophy of the Mayavadis, belief in the fruitive results of the karma vadis, and believes in plan based on materialistic desires are called aviroda prati. Karmis and materialistic makers generally attract the attention of conditioned souls, but when the materialists cannot fulfill their plans and when the devices are frustrated, they become angry. Frustration of material desires produces anger. Similarly, the demands of the body can be divided into three categories: the demands of the tongue, the belly, and the genitals. One may observe that these three senses are practically situated in a straight line as far as the body is concerned, and that the bodily demands begin with the tongue. If one can restrain the demands of the tongue by limiting its activities to the eating of prasad, the urges of the belly and the genitals can automatically be controlled. In this connection, Srila Bhakti Voda Thakura says, Sarira avidya jala jadendriya tatahe kala jive pele vishaya sagare tara madye jihiva ati lobamaya sudarmati take jeta katina samsare Krishna bada dayamaya karibare jihiva jaya zva prasada ana dila bahi sei anamrita kaho Radha Krishna Guna Gao Preme Daka Chaitanya Nitai. Semi Prabhu, don't you wanna recite this one? Is it a song?
Yes, Prabhu. Usually every time before you take prasadam, you should recite this verse.
Isn't it Mahaprasade Govinde?
Yes, Prabhu.
What is this one different to that one, Prabhu?
It continues. This is part of it.
Oh,
Mahaprasade
this is part of it.
Mahabrahmani Vaishnave
Can I take a screenshot, Prabhu?
Kalpapunya Samrajan Vishwasya Naiva Jayate Sharira Vidya Jal Yudendriya Tahe Kal Jive Per Visaya Sagure Dharma Je Jivati Lubamo Sudurmati Take Jita Katina Samsare Krishnapada Doyamo Kari Bare Jiva Joy Swa Prasadanna Dilabai Deyannam Rita Khao Radha Krishna Guna Gao Preme Dakash Chaitanya Nitai Janimai Janitai Dibu. Yes,
How
Prabhu.
many pages left, Prabhu?
2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, just one. Oh, how many?
5, Prabhu.
5.
Yes, Prabhu.
Wow. Let me just read a few. I'll give it. You have been reading. Oh Lord, this material body is a lump of ignorance, and the senses are a network of paths into death. Somehow or other, we have fallen into the ocean of material sense enjoyment, and of all the senses, the tongue is the most voracious and uncontrollable. It is very difficult to conquer the tongue in this world. But you, dear Krishna, are very kind to us. You have sent this nice prasad to help us conquer the tongue. Therefore, let us take this prasad to our full satisfaction and glorify your Lordship, Shri Shri Radha and Krishna, and in love call for the help of Lord Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityananda. There are 6 kinds of rasas, taste, and if one is agitated by any one of them, he becomes controlled by the urges of the tongue. Some persons are attracted to the eating of meat, fish, crabs, eggs, and other things produced by semina and blood and eaten in the form of dead bodies. Others are attracted by eating vegetables, creepers, spinach, or milk products, but all for the satisfaction of the tongue's demands. Such eating for sense gratification includes the use of extra quantities of spices like chili and tamarind is to be given up by Krishna conscious persons. The use of pen, haritaki, betel nuts, various spices used in pen making, tobacco, LSD, marijuana, is it, how do you pronounce it? Opium, or is it what?
Yes, Prabhu, opium.
Opium, okay. Thank you. Liquor, coffee, and tea is indulged into fulfill illicit demands. If we can practice accepting only remnants of food offered to Krishna, it is possible to get free from Maya's victimization, not victimization or what? Victimization, okay. Vegetables, grains, fruits, milk, products, and water are proper foods to offer to the Lord, as Lord Krishna himself prescribes. However, if one accepts prasadam only because of its palatable taste and thus eats too much, he also falls prey to trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us to avoid very palatable dishes even while eating prasad. If we offer palatable dishes to the deity with the intention of eating such nice food, we are involved in trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. If we accept the invitation of a rich man with the idea of receiving palatable foods, we are also trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. In Chaitanya Chamrita, Antya 6227, it is stated, Jivara lase ye iti uti daya shishnodara paranaya Krishna nahi paya. Ruvesh Prabhu, do you want to say something, Prabhu? What's going on?
Oh, Hare Krishna always, Prabhu.
Hare
Dada.
Krishna,
Yeah.
Prabhupada. The persons who, that person who runs here and they're seeking to gratify his palate, and who is always attached to the desires of his stomach and genitals, is unable to attain Krishna. As stated before, the tongue, belly, and genitals are all situated in a straight line, and they fall in the same category. Lord Chaitanya has said, Bala na kaibe arabala. Oh, Prabhu, you're playing with the page. Arabala na paribe. Do not dress luxuriously. Oh, Semi Prabhu, this is you dressing like
Oh,
luxuriously.
Prabhu.
And do not eat delicious foodstuffs. CC Chaitanya 236. That Adidas of yours, Prabhu.
Oh, Prabhu, I dress like a poor man.
Oh no.
Oh, Prabhu.
Isra, can you just go down? Okay, but then let me just finish this one first. That's fine, Prabhu. Those who suffer from diseases of the stomach must be unable to control the edges of the belly. At least into this analysis, when we dare to eat more than necessary, we automatically create many inconveniences in life. However, if we observe fasting days like Ekadeshi and Janmastami, we can restrain the demand of the belly. As far as the edges of the gent are concerned, they are two proper or legal and illicit sex. Legal and illicit sex. When a man is pali, he can marry according to the rules and regulations of the Shastras, and they use his genitals for begetting nice children. That is legal and religious. Otherwise, he may adopt many artificial means to satisfy the demands of the genitals, and he may not use any restraint when one indulges in illicit sex life, as defined by the Shastras, either by thinking, planning, talking about, or actually having sexual intercourse, or by satisfying the genitals by artificial means. He is caught by the clutches of Maya. These instructions apply not only to householders, but also to Tyagis, or those who are in the renounced order of life. In his book, Prema Vivarta, chapter 7, Sri Jagadana, how do you pronounce Jagadananda Pandita says, is it the correct, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Vairagi Bahi Gramaya Kata na Sunibi. Sunibi. Kane Gramaya Varta na Kaibe Yabe Milebe Ane. Zvapane o na Kara Bahi Stri Sambashana. Grehe Stri Chaidia Bahi Asiyacha Vana Yadichaha Pranaya Rakite Gaurangera Sane Choka Harida Sera Katatake Yena Manye Bala na Kaibe Ara Bala na Praibe Hirdayete Radha Krishna Sarvada Sevibe. Which one, Prabhu, is this? Which one is this one?
Haribol. This is some Bengali language, I think.
Okay, Prabhu. I thought maybe it's a song or, could be another prayer again.
Yes, Prabhu, you did it nicely, Haribol. Very nice.
Not really, Prabhu. My dear brother, you are in the renounced order of life and should not listen to talk about ordinary worldly things, nor should you talk about worldly things. When you meet with others, do not think of women even in dreams. How would you control your dream, Prabhu? You have accepted the renounced order of life with a vow that forbids you to associate with women. If you wish to associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You must always remember the incident of Chota Haridas and how he was rejected by the Lord. Do not eat luxurious dishes or dress in fine garments, but always remain humble and serve the Lordships, Shri Shri Radha Krishna in your heart of hearts. The conclusion is that one who can control 6 items, speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals, is to be called a Swami or Goswami. Swami means master and Goswami means master of the go or the senses. When one accepts, it's been saying the conclusion, Prabhu, accepts the renounced order of life, he automatically assumes the title of Swami. This does not mean that he is the master of his family, community, or society. He must be master of his senses. Unless one is master of his senses, he should not be called Goswami, but Godasa, servant of the six. Oh, it's a Godasa. Following in the footsteps of the 6 Goswami of Vrindavana, all saints and Goswamis should fully engage in transcendental loving service of the Lord, as opposed to this, the Gaudasa engage in the service of the senses or in the service of the material world. They have no other engagement. Prahlad Maharaj has further described the Gaudasa as Adanta Go. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Karti Prabhu.
Narayana Prabhu, all goes to Prabhupada.
Kartik Prabhu, Dandata Prabhupada. I hope you're doing better.
Get well soon,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Which refers to one whose senses are not controlled. And Ananta Go cannot become a servant of Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam 7.530, Prahlad Maharaj has said, Tir na Krishne parataha svatos va mito bipadyeta graha Vritanam Adanta Gobir Vishatam Tamisram Punaha Punascha Vrita Char Varnanam Char Varnanam. For those who have decided to continue their existence in this material world for the gratification of their senses, there is no chance of becoming Krishna conscious, not by personal endeavor, by instruction from others, or by joint. Oh, I was about to ask how many pages left, Prabhu. Conferences. They are dragged by the unbridled senses into the darkest region of ignorance, and thus they madly engage in what is called chewing the chewed. Haribol, Prabhu. Someone else can read.
Haribol, thank you so much, Prabhu.
It's done, ne, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Luvesh Prabhu, Danvat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Haribol.
I think Prabhu was in like college works. He's attending the session in
Oh,
seminar.
so he cannot speak, ne?
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, but I saw that he's communicating with someone. We must make funny faces for him.
Who wants to read the text number 2?
Yes, sir.
Yes, one can read. Go.
Satyahara Niyasasya Ajalpa Niyamagraha Jnana Sanghasya Lolamcha Sadgirva Nirvanishti Atihara overeating too much collective Prayasasya over-endeavoring and Agrahara too much attachment to or Agrahara too much neglect of Jnana Sangha association of worldly-minded persons. Oh, Janasangha, association of worldly-minded persons. Cha and long ardent, longing or greed. Cha and subdued by mystic of the devotional service finished with me as destroyed. Translation. Once devotional service is spoiled when it becomes too entangled in the fallen six activities. It is more than necessary, collecting more funds than required, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matter, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them, and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. Fifth, associating with worldly minded person who are not interested in business. Sixth, being greedy for mundane achievements. Human life is meant for plain living and activity. It's all a condition of that we have another control over outside of energy. Yes, material world is designed so that one is obliged to work. There's a free personality has three primary energies or potencies. The first is called Antaranga Shakti or the internal potency. The second is called Tathastha Shakti or the marginal potency. Third is called Variyamaki or the Kshanabhuti. The living entities constitute the marginal potency and they are situated between internal and external potencies. Being subordinate or servants of the flame preferred for God and the Jivasmara, the atomic living entities must remain under the control of either internal or external potency. When they are under the control of internal potency, they display their natural constitutional activity memory, constant engagement and reduce the source of Lord. This is stated in Bhagavad 9:13. Matmanastu Mampata Devim Dhyasita Vegetarian Manusai Yama Bhutam Avivam Musanapata. Those who are not diluted by the great souls are under the protection of divine nature. They are fully engaged in the service because they know me as the supreme personality of God, the original and inexhaustible. The word Mahatma refers to those who are non-minded, not couple-minded. Double-minded persons are always engaged in satisfying their senses, sometimes expand their activity in order to do good for others through symbolism like nationalism, humanitarianism, or altruism. They may reject personal sense gratification or the gratification of others, like members of their family, community, or society, either national or international. Although these, although actually all these extended sense gratification from personal to communal to social. This may be all very good from your point of view, but such activities have no special value. On the basis of such activities, sense gratification, either personal or extended, only when a person gratifies the senses of being God can be called a Mahatma, a broad-minded person. In the above quoted verse on the board, the other words they interpret them as refer to the control of internal or internal potency or potency of the supreme personality of God. And this push potency is manifested as Shivyan or expansion, reduction, the goddess of fortune. When the individual dear souls are under the control of The internal energy they only indicate the satisfaction of Krishna or Vishnu. This is the position of Mahatma. If one is not a Mahatma, he is Duratma, or a triple-minded person. Such mentally triple-minded Duratmas are put under the control of Lord of Purple Tendency, Potency, Maya. Indeed, all the living entities in this material world are under the control of Maya. Those whose business is to subject to whose business is to subject them to the influence of threefold miseries. Or the earthquake base has been caused by dim gods, such as droughts, earthquake, and storms. The earthquake base are suffering caused by other living entities like insects or enemies, and the earthquake base are suffering caused by one's own body and mind, such as mental or physical infirmities. They roots are the conditions hold subjected to these three miseries, our control of external energy suffer various difficulties. The main problem of confronting the conditions hold is the repetition about them, old age and disease. In the material world, one has to work to maintain its body and soul, but how can one perform such work in a way that is favorable in for the executioner? Is the consciousness. Everyone requires possessions such as food grains, clothing, money, and other things necessary for the maintenance of the body. But one should not collect more than necessary for the actual basic needs. If this natural principle is followed, then there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body. According to nature's arrangement, the entities are on the evolutionary scale and do not eat or collect more than necessary. Consequently, in the animal kingdom, there is generally no account of the problem of scarcity of resources. If a bag of rice is placed in public place, birds will come to eat few grains and go away. A human being, however, will take away all the whole bag. He will eat all his stomach can hold and then try to keep the rest in storage. According to scriptures, this collecting of more than necessary at the heart is prohibited. Now the entire is suffering because of this. Collecting and eating more than necessary also causes chaos unnecessary endeavor. Without management, anyone in any part of the world can live peacefully if some if he has some land and a milk cow. There is no need to move from one place to another to earn a livelihood, but one can produce food grains locally and get milk from the cows. That can solve all economic problems and get milk from the cow. Fortunately, a man has been given high intelligence for the cultivation of Krishna consciousness, for understanding of God, one relationship within an ultimate full of light, love of God. Unfortunately, so-called civilized men not caring for cultivation utilizes his intelligence to get more than necessary and simply try to eat and satisfy the tongue. Because in England, there is sufficient scope for the production of grains, milk, and for the human beings all over the world. But instead of using his high intelligence to cultivate consciousness, so-called intelligent men misuse their intelligence to produce many unnecessary and unwanted things. As factories, slaughterhouses, brothels, liquor shop, liquor shops are open. If people are advised not to collect too many goods, eat too much, or work unnecessarily to possess artificial amenities, I think they are being advised to return to a primitive way of life. Generally, people do not accept a plain living, and I think that is their unfortunate position. Human life is meant for realization, and the human being is given high attention for this purpose. Those who believe that this high intelligence is meant to attain a high state should follow the instructions of Vedic literatures. By taking such instructions from high authorities, one can actually become situated in perfect knowledge and give real meaning to life. Sri Ramakrishna Sri Swami describes the proper human dharma in this way. Dharmasya Bhavasya no the Yato Prakalpate Radhasya Dharmate Tasya Kamalate Satmata. All affirmational engagement and certainly meant for intimate liberation. They should not be performed for material gain. Furthermore, one who is engaged in recreational duty, service, dharma, one should never use material gain to cultivate self-gratification. The first step in human civilization consists of recreational engagement performed according to the scripture injunctions. The intelligence of a human being should be trained to understand these dharma. In the human society, there are religious concepts characterized such as Hindu, Christian, Hindu, Mohammedan, Buddhist, and so on. For now, for without religion, human society is no better than animal society. As stated above, Namaste Parvasya Purnato Akala Kalpate. Religion is meant for attaining emancipation, not for getting dead. Sometimes human society manufactures so-called religion aimed at material advancement, but that is far from the purpose of the Norwegian entails the understanding of the God and proper execution of these laws. Ultimately leads one out of material engagement. That is the key purpose of religion. Unfortunately, people accept religion for material prosperity because of their higher absence or an excessive desire for such prosperity. True religion, however, instead people to be satisfied with bare necessities of life while cultivating its righteousness. Even though we require economic development, tourism around it only satisfying the bare necessities of material existence. Years later, the just are the real purpose of life is to inquire about the future. If our endeavor was not to inquire about the truth, we simply increase our endeavor to satisfy our artificial need. As spiritual aspirant should avoid mundane endeavor. Another impediment is the wealth and the state talking. When you mix you with a few friends, you immediately with an unnecessary talking sounding just like talking dogs. If, if we uh, if we uh, if we must talk, we should talk about the philosophy movement. Those outside of the philosophy movement are interested in reading heaps of newspapers, magazines, and novels, solving crossword puzzles, and doing many other nonsensical things. In this fashion, people simply waste their valuable time and energy waste their valuable time and energy. In the Western countries, old men retire from active life, play cards, fish, watch television, and debate about useless socio-political schemes. All these and other frivolous activities are included in puzzle perfectly category. Intelligent persons in the same person should never take part in such activities. Jnana refers to associating with a person not interested in Mr. consciousness. One should strictly avoid such associations. Srinathram Das Thakur says they have therefore advised us to live only in the association which was devotee Bhaktasana Srinivasa. One should always engage in service of Lord in the association of Lord devotees. Association with those engaged in similar line of business is very conducive to advance in that business. Consequently, materialistic person from various association and clubs and elsewhere endeavors. For example, in business world, we find such institutions such as stock exchange and chamber of commerce. Similarly, we have established international society which considers to give people an opportunity to associate with those who have not forgotten. This spiritual association offered by our ISKM movement is increasing day by day, and people are from different parts of the world are joining the society to awaken the dormant Krishna consciousness. Hmm. Hero.
Ibo.
I can continue, Prabhu, if okay. I mean, if Pranjal Prabhu does not want to continue, then I can.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Okay. I hope my voice is audible, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. This is Nectar of Instruction 1, right? Okay. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anuvritti commentary that too much endeavor to acquire knowledge on the part of mental speculators or dry philosophers falls within the category of atyahara, collecting more than needed. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, the endeavor of philosophical speculators to write volumes of books on dry philosophy devoid of Krishna consciousness is entirely futile. The work of karmis who write volumes of books on economic development also falls within the category of atyahara. Similarly, those who have no desire for Krishna consciousness and who are simply interested in possessing more and more material things, either in the shape of scientific knowledge or monetary gain, are all included under the control of atyahara. Karmis labor to accumulate more and more money for future generations only because they do not know that their future position. Interested only in getting more and more money for their sons and grandsons, such foolish persons do not even know what their position is going to be in the next life. There are many incidents that illustrate this point. Once a great Karmi accumulated a vast fortune for his sons and grandsons. But later, according to his karma, he took his birth in a cobbler's house located near the building which, in his previous life, he had constructed for his children. It so happened that when this cobbler came to his former house, his former sons and grandsons beat him with shoes. Unless the karmis and jnanis become interested in Krishna consciousness, they will simply continue to waste their life in fruitless activities. Accepting some of the scriptural rules and regulations for immediate benefit, as utilitarians advocate, is called niyama agraha, and neglecting the rules and regulations of the Shastras which are meant for spiritual development is called niyama agraha. The word agraha means eagerness to accept, and agraha means failure to accept. By the addition of either of these two words to the word niyama, rules and regulation, the word niyama agraha is formed. Thus, niyama agraha has a twofold meaning that is understood according to the particular combination of words. Those interested in Krishna consciousness should not be eager to accept rules and regulations for economic advancement. Yet, they should very faithfully accept the scriptural rules and regulations for the advancement of Krishna consciousness. They should strictly follow the regulative principles by avoiding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. One should also avoid association with Mayavadis who simply blaspheme Vaishnava as devotees, Bhuktikamis who are interested in material happiness, Muktikamis who desire liberation by merging in the existence of the formless absolute Brahman, and Siddhikamis who desire the perfection of mystic yoga practice are classified as Atyaharis. Wow. Hmm. To associate with such persons is not at all desirable. Desires to expand the mind by perfecting mystic yoga, merging in the existence of Brahman, or attaining whimsical material prosperity are all included within the category of greed, laulya. All attempts to acquire such material benefits or so called spiritual advancement are impediments on the path of Krishna consciousness. Modern warfare waged between capitalists and communists is due to their avoiding the advice of Srila Rupa Goswami regarding Attiyahara. Modern capitalists accumulate more wealth than necessary, and the communists, envious of their prosperity, want to nationalize all wealth and prosperity. Unfortunately, the communists do not know how to solve the problem of wealth and its distribution. Consequently, when the wealth of the capitalist falls into the hands of the communists, no solution results. Opposed to these two philosophers, the Krishna conscious ideology states that all wealth belongs to Krishna. Thus, unless all wealth comes under the administration of Krishna, there can be no solution to the economic problem of mankind. Nothing can be solved by placing wealth in the hands of the communists or the capitalists. If $100 bill is lying on the street, someone may pick it up and put it in his pocket. Such a man is not honest. Another man may see the money and decide to let it remain there, thinking that he should not touch another's property. Although this second man does not steal the money for his own purposes, he is unaware of its proper use. The third man who sees the $100 bill may pick it up, find the man who lost it, and deliver it to him. This man does not steal the money to spend it for himself, nor does he neglect it and let it lie in the street. By taking it and delivering it to the man who has lost it, this man is both honest and wise. Simply transferring wealth from capitalists to communists cannot solve the problems of modern politics, for it has been demonstrated that when a communist gets money, he uses it for his own sense gratification. And every living entity, man and animal, has the birthright to use God's property for his maintenance. When one takes more than his maintenance requires, be he a capitalist or a communist, he is a thief. As such, he is liable to be punished by the laws of nature. The wealth of the world should be used for the welfare of all living entities, for that is the plan of Mother Nature. Everyone has the right to live by utilizing the wealth of the Lord. When people learn the art of scientifically utilizing the Lord's property, they will no longer encroach upon another's rights. Then an ideal society can be formed. The basic principle for such a spiritual society is stated in the first mantra of Sri Ishopanishad. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjita magradaha kasya swittanam. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and should not accept other things knowing well to whom they belong. Krishna conscious devotees know very well that this material world is designed by the complete arrangement of the Lord to fulfill all the necessities of life for all living beings without their having to encroach upon the life or rights of another. This complete arrangement affords the proper quota of wealth for everyone according to his real needs, and thus everyone may live peacefully according to the principle of plain living and high thinking. Unfortunately, materialists who have neither firm faith in the plan of God nor any aspiration for higher spiritual development misuse their God given intelligence only to augment their material possessions. They devise many systems such as capitalism and materialistic communism to advance their material possession. They are not interested in the laws of God or in a higher goal. Always anxious to fulfill their unlimited desires for sense gratification, they are conspicuous by their ability to exploit their fellow living beings. When human society gives up these elementary faults enumerated by Srila Rupa Goswami, Atya, etc., all enmity will cease between men and animals, capitalists and communists, and so forth. In addition, all problems of economic or political maladjustment and instability will be solved. This pure consciousness is awakened by the proper spiritual education and practice offered scientifically by the Krishna consciousness movement. This Krishna consciousness movement offers a spiritual community that can bring about a peaceful condition in the world. Every intelligent man should purify his consciousness and rid himself of the above mentioned 6 hindrances to devotional service by taking wholehearted shelter of this Krishna consciousness movement. Those texts too, yes. I mean, can I read one more or other devotees would like to read? Can I? I can continue. Is it Sami Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. I think Luesh Prabhu is ready. I think Luesh Prabhu is message that I will read.
Oh, is it Luesh Prabhu you want to read? Is it? I think he's in a classroom, you know.
Yes.
No, he's in a class, Prabhu.
Yeah, he's giving
Oh,
the
he's in a
side eye.
seminar.
You put it the message. I thought
Not
Luesh Prabhu put.
really.
Yeah, I
Also
put him.
Can I
actually
please?
all of them, so A1, Magenta, 5. And the
El
idea why
ratio.
it is decoupled because
You go
it's
and present about nectar of
the
instruction
data
and say,
transmission is so
Atya, Araha,
different between
Mataji, all this is
things,
excessive
sensors,
things. You
and
don't need all of this. Go
the
back to the bare necessities of
general
life
purpose
and be
connectivity
Krishna
you
conscious.
provide to people with
Karami teacher
smartphones.
speaking.
So this really differs, and it would be very inefficient to
Yes.
connect all
Anyway, I'll
to
read
the typical
text 3,
wide
right?
bandwidth way you use to connect smartphones and other users. So that's
Just before that, for a minute, Vivek Prabhu, when you're coming, by the way, temple, any idea? No problem. I think he cannot speak right now.
Prabhu, like
No, I was just asking when you're coming, temple.
for now it is difficult, Prabhu, but after this college I will come, Prabhu. 1
You
month is there.
spoke with Prabhu, is it?
I spoke with Prabhu just
Nice.
2 days back before Monday, I think. Monday or Sunday.
Okay.
a number.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay,
I will call
Prabhu,
you
I
back.
will wait. No problem. I'm not any person to big guy. It's good that he spoke to Prabhu. Anyway, I will read the verse. Nectar of Instruction. Verse number 3. Utsaha nishchayat dhairyat tat tat karma pravartanat sangatyaga sato vrittehe sabdhir bhaktihi prasidhyati. Synonyms. Utsahan by enthusiasm, Nishchayat by confidence, Dhairyat by patience, Tat karma various activities favorable for devotional service, Pravartanat by performing, Sangatyagat by giving up the association of non-devotees, Sataha of the great previous acharyas, Vrittehe by following in their footsteps, Sadbihi by these 6, Bhaktihi devotional service, Prasidhyati advances or becomes successful. Translation. There are 6 principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service. 1. Being enthusiastic. 2. Endeavoring with confidence. 3. Being patient. 4. Acting according to regulative principles such as Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnuha Smaranam. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.34. Hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. 5. Abandoning the association of non-devotees. And 6. following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. Purport. Devotional service is not a matter of sentimental speculation or imaginative ecstasy. Its substance is practical activity. Thank you, Amit Prabhu, for your kind association. Please keep joining again. Hare Krishna. Its substance is practical activity. Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11 has defined devotional service as follows. Anya Bilashita Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Ruttama. CC Madhya 19.167. Uttama Bhakti, yes, or unalloyed devotion unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna involves the rendering of devotional service in a way that is favorable to the Lord. This devotional service should be free from any extraneous motive and devoid of fruitive karma, impersonal jnana, and all other selfish desires. Bhakti is a sort of cultivation. As soon as we say cultivation, we must refer to activity. Cultivation of spirituality does not mean sitting down idly for meditation, as some pseudo yogis teach. Such idle meditation may be good for those who have no information of devotional service, and for this reason, it is sometimes recommended as a way to check distracting materialistic activities. Meditation means stopping all nonsensical activities, at least for the time being. Devotional service, however, not only puts an end to all nonsensical mundane activities, but also engages one in meaningful devotional activities. Sri Prahlad Maharaj recommends Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnuho Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.23. The 9 processes of devotional service are as follows. Hearing the name and glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 2. Chanting His glories. 3. Remembering the Lord. 4. Serving the Lord's feet. 5. Worshipping the deity. 6. Offering obeisances unto the Lord. 7. Acting as the Lord's servant. 8. Making friends with the Lord. 9. Surrendering oneself fully to the Lord. Shravanam or hearing is the first step in acquiring transcendental knowledge. One should not give oral reception to unauthorized persons, but should approach the proper person as recommended in Bhagavad Gita 4.34. Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanina sattvadarshinaha. You strive to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. It is further recommended in the Mundaka Upanishad, Tat Vijnanartham Sa Gurum Evabhi Gachet. Mundaka Upanishad 1.2.12. To understand that transcendental science, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master. Thus, this method of submissively receiving transcendental confidential knowledge is not merely based on mental speculation. In this regard, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bicha. In the course of traversing the universal creation of Brahma, some fortunate soul may receive the seed of Bhakti Lata, the creeper of devotional service. This is all by the grace of Guru and Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 19.151. Hare Krishna Srikant Prabhu Dhanarapam. Thank you for joining. The material world is a place of confinement for the living entities who are by nature anandamaya, pleasure-seeking. They actually want to be free from the confinement of this world of conditional happiness, but not knowing the process of liberation, they are bound to transmigrate from one species of life to another and from one planet to another. In this way, the living entities are wandering throughout the material universe. When by good fortune one comes in contact with a pure devotee and hears from him patiently, one begins to follow the path of devotional service. Such an opportunity is offered to a person who is sincere. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is giving such a chance to humanity at large. If by fortune one takes advantage of this opportunity to engage in devotional service, the path of liberation immediately opens. One should accept this opportunity to return home back to Godhead very enthusiastically. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be successful. Even in the material world, one has to be very enthusiastic in his particular field of activity in order to become successful. A student, businessman, artist, or anyone else who wants success in his line must be enthusiastic. Similarly, one has to be very enthusiastic in devotional service. Enthusiasm means action, but action for whom? The answer is that one should always act for Krishna. Krishna Artha Kila Sheshta Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. In all phases of life, one has to perform devotional activities under the direction of the spiritual master in order to attain perfection in Bhakti Yoga. It is not that one has to confine or narrow one's activities. Krishna is all pervading, therefore, nothing is independent of Krishna, as Krishna himself states in the Bhagavad Gita 9.4. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina matstani sarva bhutani nachaham teshu avastitaha. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Under the direction of the bona fide spiritual master, one has to make everything favorable for Krishna's service. For example, at present we are using a dictaphone. The materialist who invented this machine intended it for businessmen or writers of mundane subject matters. He certainly never thought of using the dictaphone in God's service. But we are using this dictaphone to write Krishna conscious literature. Of course, the manufacture of the dictaphone is wholly within the energy of Krishna. All the parts of the instrument, including the electronic functions, are made from different combinations and interactions of the five basic types of material energy, namely Bhumi, Jhala, Agni, Vayu, and Akasha. The inventor used his brain to make this complicated machine, and his brain, as well as the ingredients, were supplied by Krishna. According to the statement of Krishna, Matsthani Sarva Bhutani, everything is dependent on my energy. Thus, the devotee can understand that since nothing is independent of Krishna's energy, everything should be dovetailed in his service. Endeavor executed with intelligence and Krishna consciousness is called utsaha or enthusiasm. The devotees find the correct means by which everything can be utilized. In the service of the Lord, nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam uchyate. The execution of devotional service is not a matter of idle meditation, but practical action in the foreground of spiritual life. These activities must be executed with patience. One should not be impatient in Krishna consciousness. Indeed, this Krishna consciousness movement was started single handedly, and in the beginning there was no response. But because we continued to execute our devotional activities with patience, people gradually began to understand the importance of this movement, and now they are eagerly participating. One should not be impatient in discharging devotional service, but just a minute, where was I? Yes, but execute them with patience. Hmm. Depending on the mercy of Guru and Krishna, the successful execution of Krishna conscious activities require both patience and confidence. A newly married girl naturally expects offspring from her husband, but she cannot expect to have them immediately after marriage. Of course, as soon as she is married, she can attempt to get a child, but she must surrender to her husband, confident that a child will develop and be born in due time. Similarly, in devotional service, surrender means that one has to become confident. The devotee thinks, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna will surely protect me and give me help for the successful execution of devotional service. This is called confidence. Wow, let's just read that thing again because I need it. I'm suffering so much here. Similarly, in devotional service, surrender means that one has to become confident. The devotee thinks, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna will surely protect me and give me help for the successful execution of devotional service. This is called confidence. As already explained, one should not be idle, but should be very enthusiastic about executing the regulative principles. Tat tat karma pravartana. Hmm. Neglect of the regulative principles will destroy devotional service. In this Krishna consciousness movement, there are four basic regulative principles: forbidding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. A devotee must be very enthusiastic about following these principles. If he becomes slack in following any of them, his progress will certainly be checked. Or if he becomes slack in following any of them, his progress will be certainly checked. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore recommends tat tat karma pravartanat. One must strictly follow in the regulative principles of Vaidya Bhakti. In addition to these four prohibitions, yama, there are positive regulative principles, niyama, such as daily chanting of 16 rounds on Japamala beads. These regulative activities must be faithfully performed with enthusiasm. This is called tat tat karma pravartana, or varied engagement in devotional service. Furthermore, in order to be successful in devotional service, one must give up the association of undesirable people. This includes karmis, jnanis, yogis, and other non-devotees. Once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked, sorry, can you scroll up? By one of his householder devotees about the general principles of Vaishnavism, as well as the general routine activities of the Vaishnava. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately replied, Asat Sangatyag e Vaishnavachar. Characteristically, a Vaishnava is one who gives up the association of worldly people or non devotees. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has therefore recommended Tandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanevasha. One has to live in the company of pure devotees and execute the regulative principles laid down by the previous acharyas. The six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami. If one lives in the association of devotees, there is little chance of associating with non-devotees. The ISKM is opening many centers just to invite people to live in the company of devotees and practice the regulative principles of spiritual life. Devotional service means transcendental activities. On the transcendental platform, there is no contamination by the three modes of material nature. This is called Vishuddha Sattva, the platform of pure goodness or goodness free from contamination by the qualities of passion and ignorance. In this Krishna consciousness movement, we require everyone to rise early in the morning by 4 a.m. and attend Mangala Arati or morning worship, then read Srimad Bhagavatam, perform Kirtana, and so forth. Thus, we hold continuous activities in devotional service 24 hours daily. This is called Sato Vritti, or following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas who expertly filled every moment of their time with Krishna conscious activities. If one strictly follows the advice given in this verse by Srila Rupa Goswami, namely being enthusiastic, being confident, being patient, giving up the association of unwanted persons, following the regulative principles, and remaining in the association of devotees, one is sure to advance in devotional service. Hmm. Can we just read the above part again? Because it's kind of like the summary. A little more, yeah. If one strictly follows the advice given in this verse by Srila Rupa Goswami, namely being enthusiastic, being confident, being patient, giving up the association of unwanted persons, following the regulative principles, and remaining in the association of devotees, one is sure to advance in devotional service. In this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks that the cultivation of knowledge by philosophical speculation, the collection of mundane opulence by the advancement of fruitive activities, and the desire for yoga siddhis, material perfection, are all contrary to the principles of devotional service. One has to become thoroughly callous to such non permanent activities and turn his intention instead to the regulative principles of devotional service. According to Bhagavad Gita 2.69, Ya Nisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Samyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Pashyato Munihi. What is night for all beings is a time of awakening for the self-control, and the time of awakening for all beings is the night for the introspective stage. Engagement in devotional service of the Lord is the life and soul of the living entity. It is the desired goal and supreme perfection of human life. One has to become confident about this and also has to be confident that all activities other than devotional service, such as mental speculation, fruitive work, or mystic endeavor, will never yield any enduring benefit. Hmm. Complete confidence in this path of devotional service will enable one to attain his desired goal. But attempting to follow other paths will only succeed in making one restless. In the seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, one must be calmly convinced that those who have given up devotional service to engage in severe austerities for other purposes are not purified in their minds despite their advanced austerities, because they have no information of the transcendental loving service of the Lord. It is further stated in the seventh canto, all the mental speculators and fruitive actors may perform great austerities and penances. They still fall down because they do not have information about the lotus feet of the Lord. The devotees of the Lord, however, never fall down. In Bhagavad Gita 9.31, the Supreme Personality of Godhead assures Arjuna, Kaunteya Prachijanihi Name Bhaktaha Pranashyati. A son of Kunti declared boldly that my devotee never perishes. Again, in Bhagavad Gita 2.40, Krishna says, Neha Bikramana Shosti Pratyavayo Na Vidyate Swalpam Apyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhahyat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Devotional service is so pure and perfect that once having begun, one is forcibly dragged to ultimate success. Sometimes a person will give up his ordinary material engagements and out of sentiment take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord and thus begin the preliminary execution of devotional service. Even if such an immature devotee falls down, there is no loss on his part. On the other hand, what is the gain of one who executes the prescribed duties according to his varana and ashrama but does not take to devotional service? Although a fallen devotee may take his birth in a low family, his, his devotional service will nonetheless resume from where it left off. Although a fallen devotee may take his next birth in a low family, his devotional service will nonetheless resume from where it left off. Okay, so if you fall down in devotional service, you will take birth in a low family. Anyway, that's still human birth. That's very elevated compared to everything else, animal births. His devotional service will nonetheless resume from where it left off. Devotional service is ahaituki apratihata. It is not the effect of any mundane cause, nor can it be terminated by any mundane cause or permanently curtailed by any material interruption. Therefore, a devotee should be confident about his engagement and should not be very interested in the activities of karmi, gyanis, and yogis. There are certainly many good qualities among fruitive actors, philosophical speculators, and mystic yogis, but all good qualities automatically develop in the character of a devotee. No extraneous endeavor is needed. As confirmed by Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.12, all the good qualities of the demigod manifest progressively in one who has developed pure devotional service. Because the devotee is not interested in any material activity, he does not become materially contaminated. He is immediately situated on the platform of transcendental life. However, one who engages in mundane activity, be he a so called jnani, yogi, karmi, philanthropist, nationalist, or whatever, cannot attain the highest stage of Mahatma. Let's read that again. It's very nice. You know, all karmis, they praise the other karmis, right? However, one who engages in mundane activity, be he a so called jnani, yogi, karmi, philanthropist, nationalist, or whatever, cannot attain the highest stage of Mahatma. Hmm. He remains a duratma or a cripple minded person. According to Bhagavad Gita 9.13, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashritaha bhajanti ananya manaso vyatva bhutadim avyayam. O son of Shrita, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Hmm. Since all the devotees of the Lord are under the protection of His supreme potency, they should not deviate from the path of devotional service and take to the path of the karmi, jnani, or yogi. This is called utsaha nishchayat dahiryat tat tat karma pravartanat. Enthusiastically executing the regulative activities of devotional service with patience and confidence. In this way, one can advance in devotional service without any hindrance. Thank you very much for allowing me to read, Prabhu. Haribol, all glories to Prabhupada. Others can continue if they would like to.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. I hope my voice was okay. I'm a little tired, but I hope it was okay.
Yes, Prabhu. It's very good. I can read one verse.
Yes, Prabhu.
ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यम् आख्याति पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजयते चैव सद्विदं प्रीतिलक्षणम्. Text number 4. Word to word. Dadati gives charity, pratigrihnati accepts in return, guhyam confidential topics, akhyati explains, prichati inquires, bhunkte eats, bhojayate feeds, cha also, eva certainly, sadvidam 6 kinds, priti of love, lakshanam symptoms. Translation: offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad, and offering prasad are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. Purport. In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami explains how to perform devotional activities in the association of other devotees. There are 6 kinds of activities. 1. Giving charity to the devotees. 2. Accepting from the devotees whatever they may offer in return. 3. Opening one's mind to the devotees. 4. Inquiring from them about the confidential service of the Lord. 5. Honoring prasad or spiritual food given by the devotees. And 6. Feeding the devotees with prasad. An experienced devotee explains and an inexperienced devotee learns from him. This is Guhyam Akhyati Prachati. When a devotee distributes prasad, remnants of food offered to the Supreme Person of Godhead in order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we must accept this prasad as the Lord's grace received through the pure devotees. We should also invite pure devotees to our home, offer them prasad, and be prepared to please them in all respects. This is called Bhunkte Bhojayate Chaiva. Even in ordinary social activities, these 6 types of dealings between 2 loving friends are absolutely necessary. For instance, when one businessman wishes to contact another businessman, he arranges a feast in a hotel, and over the feast openly expresses what he wishes to do. He then inquires from his business friend how he should act, and sometimes presents are exchanged. Thus, whenever there is a dealing of priti or love in intimate dealings, these 6 activities are executed. In the previous verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advised that one should renounce worldly association and keep company with the devotees. Sangatyagat sato vritte. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate these 6 kinds of loving exchanges between devotees. This society was started single-handedly, but because people are coming forward and dealing with the give and take policy, the society is now expanding all over the world. We are glad that people are donating very liberally to the development of the society's activities, and people are also eagerly accepting whatever humble contribution we are giving them in the shape of books and magazines dealing strictly with the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. We sometimes hold Hare Krishna festivals and invite life members and friends to participate in the feasting by accepting prasad. Although most of our members come from the higher ranks of society, they nonetheless come and take whatever little prasad we are able to offer them. Sometimes the members and supporters, where are we? Inquire very confidentially about the methods of performing devotional service, and we try to explain this. In this way, our society is successfully spreading all over the world, and the intelligentsia, oh, this is a weird word, of all countries is gradually appreciating our Krishna conscious activities. The life of the Krishna conscious society is nourished by these 6 types of loving exchange among the members. Therefore, people must be given the chance to associate with the devotees of ISKCON, because simply by reciprocating in the 6 ways mentioned above, an ordinary man can fully revive his dormant Krishna consciousness. In Bhagavad Gita 2.6.2, it is stated, Sangat sanjayate kama. One's desires and ambitions develop according to the company one keeps. It is often said that a man is known by his company, and if an ordinary man associates with devotees, he will certainly develop his dormant Krishna consciousness. The understanding of Krishna consciousness is innate in every living entity, and it is already developed to some extent when the living entity takes a human body. So see, everyone has some understanding of Krishna consciousness actually. Because if one has a living human body, then it must have developed to some extent. So that's how I understand things. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
That's correct.
It is said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 22:107. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunaya Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaya Udaya. Pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the hearts of living entities. It is not something to be gained from another source. When the heart is purified by hearing and chanting, the living entity naturally awakens. Since Krishna consciousness is inherent in every living entity, everyone should be given a chance to hear about Krishna. Simply by hearing and chanting Shravanam Kirtanam, one's heart is directly purified, and one's original Krishna consciousness is immediately awakened. Krishna consciousness is not artificially imposed upon the heart, it is already there. When one chants the holy name of the Supreme Person of Godhead, the heart is cleansed of all mundane contamination. In the first stanza of his Sri Shikshastaka, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Sreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vityavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Svadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam Anjalila 2012. All glories to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Not only is the chanter of the Maha Mantra purified, but the heart of anyone who happens to hear the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is also cleansed. Even the souls embodied in lower animals, insects, trees, and other species of life also become purified and prepared to become fully Krishna conscious simply by hearing the transcendental vibration. This was explained by Thakur Haridas when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from him how living entities lower than the human beings can be delivered from material bondage. Haridas Thakur said that the chanting of the holy names is so powerful that even if one chants in the remotest parts of the jungle, the trees and animals will advance in Krishna consciousness simply by hearing the vibration. This was actually proved by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself when he passed through the forest of Jarikhanda. At that time, the tigers, snakes, deer, and all other animals abandoned their natural animosity and began chanting and dancing in Sankirtan. Of course, we cannot imitate the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but we should follow in his footsteps. We are not powerful enough to enchant the lower animals such as tigers, snakes, cats, dogs, or entice them to dance, but by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can actually convert many people throughout the world to Krishna consciousness. Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord is a sublime example of distributing or giving charity, the Dadati principle. By the same token, one must also follow the Pratigrihnati principle and be willing and ready to receive the transcendental gift. One should inquire about the Krishna consciousness movement and open his mind in order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus the Guhyam Akyati Prachati principles can be served. The members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness invite the society's members and supporters to dine with them when they hold love feasts in all their branches every Sunday. Many interested people come to honor Prasad, and whenever possible, they invite members of the society to their homes and feed them sumptuously with Prasad. In this way, both the members of the society and the general public are benefited. People should give up the company of so-called yogis, gyanis, and karmis and philanthropists because their association can benefit no one. If one really wants to attain the goal of human life, he should associate with devotees of Krishna consciousness movement, because it is the only movement that teaches one how to develop love of God. Religion is the special function of human society, and it constitutes the distinction between human society and animal society. Animal society has no church, mosque, or religious system. In all parts of the world, however downtrodden human society may be, there is some system of religion. Even tribal aborigines in the jungles also have a system of religion. When a religious system develops and turns into love of God, it is successful. As stated in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 126, Savai Pumsa Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktiradok Shaje Ahaitukya Pratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. The supreme occupation, Dharma, for all humanity is that by which man can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. If the members of human society actually want peace of mind, tranquility, and friendly relations between man and nations, they must follow the Krishna conscious system of religion, by which they can develop their dormant love for Krishna, the Supreme Person of Godhead. As soon as people do so, their minds will immediately be filled with peace and tranquility.
Yes, this is true.
Yes, Prabhu.
Because this is why wars happen.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, that's true. As soon as people do so, their minds will be immediately filled with peace and tranquility. In this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur warns all devotees engaged in broadcasting the Krishna consciousness movement not to speak to the impersonalist Mayavadis who are always determined to oppose such theistic movements. The world is full of Mayavadis and atheists and the political parties of the world take advantage of Mayavada and other atheistic philosophies to promote materialism. Sometimes they even back a strong party to oppose the Krishna consciousness movement. The Mayavadis and other atheists do not want the Krishna consciousness movement to develop because it educates people in God consciousness. Such is the policy of the atheists. There is no benefit in feeding a snake milk and banana. There is no benefit in feeding a snake milk and bananas because the snake will never be satisfied. On the contrary, by taking milk and bananas, the snake simply becomes more poisonous. Kevalam Vishavardhanam. If a snake is given milk to drink, its poison simply increases. For a similar reason, we should not disclose our minds to the serpent Mayavadis and Karmis. Such disclosures will never help. It is best to avoid association with them completely and never ask them about anything confidential because they cannot give good advice. Nor should we extend invitations to Mayavadis and atheists, nor accept their invitations, for by such intimate intermingling, we may become affected by their atheistic mentality. Sangat sanjate kama. It is the negative injunction of this verse that we should refrain from giving anything to or accepting anything from the Mayavadis and atheists.
And what is Madhu Pandit Prabhu doing? All the
Yeah, he's doing the
Mayavadis.
exact thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and all the Mayavadis he's inviting. And then so-called they're trying to honor Prabhupada by their title. But what is a bigger title than Prabhupada?
But
And then they're trying to do this.
if there's some Buddhist fellows or something like this somewhere, should we go to give prasadam to them or just avoid them? Or like what?
It depends, Prabhu, because see, the Mayavadis are very envious of Krishna. So they don't at all value about devotee association and prasadam and all. So some people like that in India are there. You give them Krishna prasadam, they'll just make fun of prasadam. And they might not even eat it. They might just feed it to the dogs or do something else.
That's often so.
But if somebody is like, he has the Mayavad tendency, or he's somewhat contaminated by the Mayavad tendency, but he's not like a very, very kattar Mayavadi. Like sometimes, for example, in India, you'll find many people have this conception. Everybody is one, all God are the same, and worship anybody, you will go to Krishna. Or Krishna came from Brahman. They have this tendency, but they're not so, they just have it due to bad influence, but they themselves are not that much actively trying to preach about this or not that much envious. So for
Yes.
such people, okay, you can give them prasadam and even preach to them and give them Prabhupada books. But in this verse, Lord Shri Chaitanya is referring to, those like hardcore Mayavadis who are always blaspheming the Lord like that. Many Indians are there, they are just misinformed. For them, you can give prasadam and they will accept. They will
Yeah.
accept, oh, it's very nice. One of my friend is there, he's Mayavadi, but not so much, but he's just contaminated by the Mayavadi thing because from childhood he's been hearing it. But he's not like so much into preaching and all that, and he also has some bad habits, and he's not a follower or anything. But if when I gave him prasadam, he accepted it very nicely and even bought one Prabhupada book from me. So somewhat like that, people you can do. But if somebody's like this, envious, or somebody's Buddhist and he's completely envious, he's saying no, all of this Sanatan Dharma, all fake, all these people are just liars, what nonsense they're doing. Then don't even approach him, don't invite him, don't give him prasadam, don't give him anything. But if somebody is quote unquote a Buddhist, but not really that much envious, on that much against Krishna consciousness, yeah, okay, he might say I'm Buddhist, I don't want to accept your philosophy, but he'll accept the prasadam and he'll not say anything bad. But these leaders in the so-called movement, right, the so-called Buddhist movement, the Mayavad movement, they especially this verse refers to. I mean, you can please correct me wrong. I mean, Lavish Prabhu and others can correct me wrong if I'm wrong. I mean, but yeah, Lavish Prabhu is so frustrated.
Oh, where is he? Let me see.
He's right there. Surrounded by all karmis, he's feeling very sad in his heart.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Shakti Prabhu, then that.
Pranam Prabhu, how goes to Prabhupada?
Hare Krishna, Lord Shakti Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, dear Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. O Krishna Prabhupada. And how about when you distribute? Yes, Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada. How about when you do some pressure distribution, how can you distinguish
Hare Krishna Bahut Dandavat Pranam.
that this person is Mayavadi or, sometimes you don't know.
Prabhu, the thing is, Prabhu, whoever it is, if they come and take to, if they come and take to the prasadam with, with some enthusiasm, it can either be like, wow, he's distributing something that looks very palatable, very nice, or if somehow if he's somewhat Krishna conscious, okay, it's prasadam nice, or even he's sentimental, he doesn't know, like all these Hindus, right? They don't know who is who, but he thinks, oh, Krishna, oh, he's also one of the gods, oh, they're distributing Krishna prasadam, oh, very nice, okay, no problem, let me take it. Then you can distribute. But there are some categories of people who are deliberately envious, like just to give you an example. I heard from this I heard from one of Prabhupada's disciples that Narayan Maharaj, his followers, when they received prasadam from ISKCON, they did not even accept it. They took it and then they threw it. And similarly, some Mayavadis, when you are giving them prasadam, and if they see you, and then they say, "Oh, this is all nonsense," it'll be very obvious. They themselves will come and tell you. You can see it on their face that they're just here to make fun of you and all that. But even if they have the tendency, or if they're somewhat quote unquote educated about the Mayavad philosophy, but if they're not so much contaminated, you can give them. I mean, does it make some sense, Prabhu? I mean, this is just my realization on that.
Yes, I understand. But for example, today we distribute prasad. Mataji, she give whatever will accept, whatever person will accept, she will give. So she will not have this discrimination to know who is who, but she will distribute. And I will change the holy name also. I will do Alina. So yeah, I understand what you said about Maya, but if they take the prasad and they eat it, they get the mercy, right?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. The point is this, Prabhu. Like, if they're eager to accept, if they want to accept, then of course we can give them. But I'm referring to people like who will come and then in the name of trying to get prasadam from you, make fun of you. There are many people in India who do this. I mean, as far as prasadam distribution, I have not seen, but sometimes in book distribution, we'll go ask, "Oh, Prabhu, you want to buy a book?" And then they will say, "Oh, very nice. I want to talk to you. Let's speak." And then finally, they'll try to tell you about no, Krishna is one of the gods and all of this nonsense they will tell, and finally they will not buy book. So similarly, if they're willing to accept, if they're willing to accept, they say, okay, I want to take, come, Prabhu. I mean, you please give me, no matter what, whatever differences we have, no, let me take. Well, that's very good. But if they're coming with this intention and then they make fun or they criticize, that person should be ignored and should be told to go away. But I don't think that, I mean, that even Mataji, if somebody's coming and making some criticism about us, she can identify, right? But whatever philosophy they have, if they don't want to criticize, they just come, they take prasadam, and then they mind their own business. Then whomever it is, we can give. But if they're envious, this envious tendency to criticize, commit Vaishnava aparadh, and basically make fun of this whole thing, then for them, we just tell them, no, sir, my dear sir, you please go away. Mind your own business, like that. So this can be very easily observed, actually. I mean, I hope it's somewhat okay.
Yes. Yes. I understand your point now. I understand. So those people, yes, in Reunion Island, for example, they will not come, and sometimes you will find one out of perhaps 100, who will come and make fun. But actually, because I'm chanting Harinam, actually, even if they make fun of me, it's okay, actually, when you do Harinam. And I understand when you distribute prasad. And Mataji, actually, she knows, sometimes some people doesn't care about it, and she doesn't even propose them, So she knows how to distinguish, But yeah, I understand your point now. In India, more like it's a little worse, you know, because they don't know. They think they know about everything, but I don't. But actually, they don't know. They are lost, you know, and they think that they know everything, you know. Just like here, the Indian community, they think that, oh, Krishna, yeah, I know, I chant this. So, for example, today there is this Prabhu came and he gives some donation and he get a book, but you know he was chanting some Rama Bhajan and some and then yeah he make you think that, oh, I know Krishna, you know, I know this, I know. Obviously, he don't know. He doesn't know anything, you know. And this is Indian community will be like that, you know. They think that they know everything, but actually they are the one who is lost. They don't understand. They will confuse with everything. So yeah, I understand your point now. And I think when you do this distribution of prasad, just like Pondicherry or you know every temple will do outside, just with Alinam Sankirtan, it's very nice if we can chant and distribute prasad, because then the holy name will purify the whole environment, you know. And some who are envious, they will not come. I noticed that when you chant sincerely the holy name, even if they come and they make fun of you, they will keep some distance, you know. They will not get aggressive, and perhaps in India, but not here. From my small, very insignificant experience. So
Yes, bro. In India also
I
they
think
don't come like that, because when you're chanting, actually this principle during Harinam, it's, you know, like in Harinam time, even those people are joking or making some fun, even they also get benefit actually, because in Harinam time it's
yeah,
not a
they
very
get benefit.
personal interaction, yeah, but in Prashadam or book distribution time it's like a personal interaction. So in that situation we should avoid, but in Harinam time, even the envious or not, we cannot do anything, we just go on chanting. But in Prashadam and book distribution time, if somebody is coming to take Prashad or acting like coming to take Prashad and acting like coming to take books, and then finally he's just there to take advantage of the situation and make fun of you, then we tell them to go away. But during Harinam, yeah, they come, they do whatever, no problem, let
And
them go, because we mind our business.
yes, and actually, when you have those type of people who just waste your time because they just want to challenge you, you know, so you can use your anger, just like in the Nectar of Instruction, when it is said that we can use anger for the Lord, you know. So at that
Yes.
time, you can, because they are envious, so you can use your anger to just, you know, make them go away, you know, and just, you know, serve, use that anger that you have, because obviously they wasted your time, you know. And sometimes I will feel very angry with them, because I have no time to lose, you know. I'm here to preach. I have no time for joking like this, you know. And
Yes.
they are very respectful. So this is the best time to use anger. I use it few times, but not so many. But yeah, sometimes I will be very harsh to them. I'll say, you just waste my time. Just go away, you know, because you don't know anything. You don't even know who you are. Do you know who you are? You don't know. You know, your spirit, soul. Now we preach to him like this and very harsh, and then they will go away. Just will go away, because they are not used to that. They are not used to someone who can use some references and at the same time be like very not yeah, we can say angry, but with with some knowledge, you know. Just like His Grace Humanitae will do when when you want to preach to those who are envious to ISKM, you know, you can see that he's angry, but he's very well composed also, you know. It's very unique for a devotee to use anger, because he can you know, when you are angry materially, you can't think properly. You know, your mind is. But when you are hungry and you want to, in Krishna consciousness, you want to protect the Lord, you want to, the devotee, then you can even quote some shastra, some verse. I don't know why, because when you are hungry, your mind becomes crazy, but not in Krishna consciousness. I noticed that when I was angry because they blasphemed the devotee or even the Lord, I can quote some verse, and normally I will not remember, but at that time everything just come in my mind. So we can use that zeal, that anger to preach. Actually, this is very nice.
Yes, probably.
But yes, thank you very much. I am not used to this India preaching, so I know here because there is a small community. I know they are very how to say that, proud, very proud, because they know better than you, But when they speak, then you know that they are full number one. They don't know anything. So
Yes.
yeah, it just make things more complicated for you there, because even if you become more knowledgeable, actually they will always challenge you because they are just proud, and very like very rascal, very like a very like fool, sometimes just why they are like that, and now I understand, because they just confused. They will worship anything and everything. This is not good, for the for the human form of life. You cannot do that, you will become so entangled in the material world. But yeah, I understand now the point that understand that. But at least we try to because this is the best preaching, like, of course, distribution of book, but Harinam and distribution of prasad. Prabhupada said it must go on. It must go on every day, even if the temple is not so active. It's okay if you can go outside and do some harinam and distribution of prasad. Then you should go and you should do it at least 1 hour. He said there is a letter like this. So try to do that. But I understand your point about don't give them some pressure when they are. Yes, I understand now. So thank you very much for your insight about that. And sorry if I talk too much.
No problem. Thank you so much. I'm
And
very
I
happy
disturb.
to be of some service.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Prabhu, just now Pakistan attacked the whole Jammu. Oh my God, what is happening?
What
I
happened?
give both the
What happened?
Prabhu, Pakistan attacked, first they attacked the airport of Jammu Kashmir. Now they have attacked the whole Jammu Kashmir. They are launching missiles.
Why her
Shit.
job?
Oh, is
So
it?
war has officially started. You can just say officially war has started.
Anyway, what to do?
What to do?
We're fighting.
Kali Yuga. Nothing can be done. Symptoms of Kali Yuga.
Yes.
Wait, this was all already
We can
predicted
just
in the
chant.
Bhagavatam
We can
12th
just do it. Yeah, it's already
Yeah, in the Bhagavatam 12th can do.
No.
If you read like sequence
Prabhupada
wise all the
himself said.
verses. Yeah.
A devotee's business is to chant the holy name, chant the holy name, chant the holy name. There is no other way. There is no other way, and there is no other way.
Yes.
So even
Yes.
if they are willing to blow the entire earth, if you can think 1 second of Krishna, you will leave
Yes.
this material world, Prabhu, and you
Yes,
will
yes.
enter into the spiritual world. So
Yes.
we don't care about this material world. This
Yes,
material
Prabhu.
world can go to hell. It can go to hell. It's already hell, actually. It's already hell.
Yeah, it's already
We are
correct.
all
Yes.
in hell. Yes, and I will tell this to Mataji when we are preaching. We say, Mataji, just to encourage her, and I will tell her that we are in hell, and this is really, how to say that, we should be really strong to go outside and to try to preach to those demons, to those rascals, they don't listen. They don't want to, to listen. Just listen, They don't want. They just engage in this gratification of senses every day. They don't care about that Krishna consciousness, what? They don't care about that. So this world is hell, actually. This is a hellish condition of life. So
Yes.
when you are chanting Prabhu, when you are talking about Krishna, you are doing, just now we are doing some Krishna Katha. Actually, this is Vaikuntha. Actually, this is Vaikuntha. So please just focus on your sadhana, what you have to do. At least we are insignificant, but because of Prabhupada, now we are here. So at least just try to focus on what you can do to serve Srila Prabhupada, Just, he said, chant your round, associate with devotee. Now we can nicely talk Krishna Katha. They can bomb anywhere in the world. It's okay. We are just, mind our own business, just like they mind their own business also, enjoying the senses. But we are trying to serve the master of the senses. But this is what matters the most. Even if, if you just are in the bodily section of life, yes, of course you will be afraid. But if you chant nicely around, you read, you just follow the process that Srila Prabhupada gives, then, and you want to preach, actually, this is the point. You need to preach the message. When you are a preacher, just like in Nectar of Instruction, we say, we need to become Madhyama Adhikari. We need to be in the second platform, not remaining on the third platform. This is not good, because you can fall down and you will stay in this bodily conception of life. Actually, third class of devotee, they are bodily conscious. They are not Krishna conscious. So you need to become strong. How to become strong? Just follow the process and focus on your sadhana. This word prajalpa will not help. This word prajalpa, the Pakistan, they will do that. They will. Actually, the whole world is messy. It's a mess. The whole world will blow away. Someday. But we don't care about that. Our world is not here. Our home is not here. It's not where we belong. We are spirit soul. We don't belong in this nationalism and every ism that they want to preach. We don't belong there. We just spirit soul. So at least just try to focus on what we can do. To become more and more Krishna conscious, and it will save you from the great danger that will happen when you will leave this body. Because when you leave this body, 1 second, if you think you are a cat, dog, think you are Pakistan, you are Indian, you will come back again.
Yes.
Come back again. Yeah? So this is not something we should focus on, I understand, I understand the situation now in India, but we are not serving some mundane perspective. We're serving Srila Prabhupada, the greatest personality, in this Kali Yuga. Why we should be afraid? Don't be afraid. If you follow his process, you will become eternal. Actually, you are already eternal. We don't realize you will become eternal. So they can bomb anywhere. It's okay. Let them bomb so that they can come again and again in this rascal world. But we must become Krishna conscious so that we can leave this world. So I understand, I fully understand the gravity of the situation, but this is on the bodily platform. This is not on the spiritual platform. We should not care about those. Try to use that opportunity that now the situation is very dangerous. Use that to become more intense in your practice of Krishna consciousness, to become more absorbed in it. You should realize, this world is so, messy, everything is upside down, so we should leave this place. This place is full of misery. We should leave. So, yes, I just, saw so many messages in the group. I just, little irritated because actually you should only care about your spiritual life. Only care about that.
The Indians who are getting killed are not innocent. The Pakistanis who are killing and getting killed also not innocent. Both of them are meat eaters.
Yes.
Both of them have done so many sinful acts. Both of them are against the principle of Ishavasya Medam Sarvam. So nobody is innocent, including me also. I'm not just saying them, including me. None of us are innocent here. I mean, other than the devotees like yourself and all others here. But the point is, nobody is innocent. So there is no such thing as innocent people are being killed. Of course, we have sympathy for. Nice to see young women and children being, being killed. It's not nice to see, no doubt about it. But the philosophy is this: nobody is innocent here. Everybody is just getting the reaction of what they've done before.
Yes.
What we do is we can only preach Krishna consciousness to them, and that way, the whole environment becomes purified. And then it's also an impetus for all of us to take this online association more seriously, because who knows how long the Wi-Fi is going to be there for. So until it's there, let us take advantage. And yeah, after that, definitely Krishna for those who want to associate, no doubt about it. But until proper advantage in the reading session, at least see how nicely we've been reading Nectar of Instruction. Gaura Shakti Prabhu just sharing his preaching also based on Nectar of Instruction, the purports. And so let's all try to take advantage of this. Yeah, correct. And then whatever Krishna wants to do, he can do. Because the fact is this, that if he wants to kill somebody, nobody can stop. If he wants to save somebody,
That's the verse. Yes.
so if he wants to kill someone, that's also his mercy, If you want to kill somebody, that's also his mercy, right? Because suppose somebody, like let's say I'm dying in a bomb crash, right? Then actually that's the mercy of the Lord, because then he's thinking, all right, now this Karti, okay, whatever little bit he has done, that's okay. But I think if he continues to continues to live, maybe he'll do more nonsense. So better than that, just take him away now and then become an animal. Then I have no karma. Otherwise, I have to suffer for many millions and millions of lifetimes more if I continue to live and then, accumulate all that karma and then go on suffering more for that. It's also the mercy of the Lord. If the Lord says, all right, no, you be here, then that's also the mercy of the Lord. Because after all this thing is gone, it'll be such a wasteland, it'll be all like messed up. Then people will look around and say, whoa, what nonsense is this? Oh my God, what is this earth become? Okay, you know what? Let me just go to the devotees. I think they are the only people who seem happy here. But that's all the mercy of the Lord. So he can do whatever he wants.
That's the point. Yes, bro. That's the point. Even when they are in war and they are, in suffering, but we are happy. We are happy because we chant the holy name. because we are more and more Krishna conscious. So this is the point actually that I said. This is hellish life. Material world is hellish life, and when you are in association of devotee, when you chant the holy name, when you take prasad, when you do speak Krishna Katha, this is actually the spiritual world. This is Vaikuntha. This is Goloka Vrindavan. So we can experience the spiritual world even here, when we are here. Just associate with the devotee on a regular basis and read, speak Krishna Katha, chant the holy name. Don't engage in prajalpa, mundane conversation, discussion about this hellish world. Make no sense. Make no sense. And actually, you share some things, Kachi Prabhu. Actually, there is a verse who Krishna wants to kill, nobody can protect. And, when he protects someone, nobody can kill him. So, if we become more and more Krishna conscious, and we try to preach his message. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, I think it's 61. He said himself,
68.
Yeah, he said himself that the preacher is very dear to him. The preacher of this Krishna consciousness is very dear to him. So if you try to preach, even if you take some risk to do it, do you think that he will not protect you? Do you think that he will not stand and protect you? You try to preach his message, even in the cost of your life. So this is Krishna conscious. This is the best opportunity to become more and more Krishna conscious, actually. When there is some danger, and you try to show that, okay, I understand that this world is not the world that we should live in. And I understand that I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul, and I'm eternal servitor of the Lord. So I will do something. I will do something about it. This is the enthusiasm that we should have. Should be always like this, The fire should be always there, to preach this sublime message. They need it. They need it. And after the war, they will also need it. They will come more and more after this war. Prabhupada said, after the war, then business is very good for Krishna consciousness. Business is very good because they are suffering everywhere. And what is the remedy for this suffering? The holy name of the Lord. So we should always push this movement and preach, and become more and more strong and convinced. We should have this faith that Krishna will always protect us. Krishna will always protect us, no matter what. And whatever he do, I'm okay with it. He is the supreme controller, Parameshwara. He can do whatever he wants. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. But I will serve him. I will serve him. At least I cannot serve it yet directly, but I can serve his pure devotee, his representative. I will do it. If we focus like that, this group will become more and more Krishna conscious. This group will become more and more Krishna conscious. And I hope that someday it will happen. All of us need to become Krishna conscious and go back home, back to Godhead. What are we doing here? We just need to be more strong, encourage each other, and motivate each other to just focus on our sadhana. So I will always be there to remind everyone, even myself first, that I need to focus on my sadhana, you know, and everything else is just a waste of time. Everything else who is not related to Krishna is a waste of time. I don't care about that. Otherwise, you just waste your own human form of life. And when you will be able to have this human form of life again, when you don't even know. So we just need to focus, please. I know that now situation like this, but we don't care about the Krishna decide that should be like this. So we should accept and we should surrender into Krishna and say, okay, now the situation is like this, I will increase my sadhana. I will increase my sadhana. For example, if I read 1 hour, okay, in those days of war, I will read 2 hours. Why not? Why not give more to the Lord? Give more to the Srila Prabhupada. We need to give, not to take, but to give. So please just increase your sadhana and become more and more Krishna conscious. I just wish that all of us, you know, somehow got to this spiritual platform, this higher spiritual platform that we don't care about this body no more. We just focus on the spiritual and the transcendental world, because this is the only way. This is the only way. And if to become a preacher, you just need to become more convinced about the philosophy. Not necessarily like a pundit, know every verse like this. No, not necessarily. But you have to have this firm conviction, the realization that okay, we are spirit soul. You are not this body, and the only way, the only solution to this world, to this mess, is Krishna consciousness. We have to be very convinced about that. Otherwise, how can we preach? We can learn so many things, become big scholar, big pandit. But if you don't have faith, all of this collapse. Can you convince someone when you don't have faith? They will laugh at you. They will laugh at you.
Yes,
What
Prabhu.
can you do? What can you speak? So, sorry, I got fired up. I'm very sorry about that.
No, Prabhu, this is very nice. Thank you so much.
So,
You can talk more.
no, sometimes, yes, sometimes I just get really fired up when I don't want that someone who try to become Krishna conscious waste his human form of life,
Yes.
waste his opportunity. Do you know how rare it is? Do you know what we do, what we did to obtain this human form of life, and now we just don't care about it? No, we should not be like that, We should be grateful to be in that movement that, Lord Chaitanya will not appear every Kali Yuga. He will not appear every Kali Yuga. He will appear only, one time in 1,000 of Yuga. I forgot
Yes, bro.
but
In
he
one day
will
of
not
Brahma, he
appear
appears
every
only
Kali
once.
Yuga.
Yes, bro.
You see, one day of Brahma. Do you know one day of Brahma is how much? No, millions and millions of years. And we take this like lightly, like, oh, this is yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada. We are fortunate soul. We are highly fortunate soul, actually. How fortunate we are to be in this movement and to be led by Srila Prabhupada, the greatest Vaishnava of all time. I can say like this, He's like, Prahlad Maharaj. He's like Prahlad Maharaj. This is incredible. We are in this movement now. So we should be grateful and we should be very fired up, actually. Very. Like the disciple of Srila Prabhupada, back then when he was in America, you see them. They were like, they were already sold in Vaikuntha, you know. They don't they were not body conscious. Because they understand. They fully realize, you know, Srila Prabhupada, who is he? You know, they fully realize. But I don't think that even here in ISKM, I don't think if sometimes we realize how fortunate we are. How fortunate we are to be guided by such advanced devotees. I'm not talking only of Srila Prabhupada. I'm talking about His Grace Prabhu, His Grace Nimai Nitaya Prabhu, His Grace Tadvari Prabhu, His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu. Every senior preacher in ISKM, so exalted. So exalted. And we are following their footsteps. If we become serious, if we want to become serious, if we want to follow the nectar of instruction, don't engage in prajalpa. You know, don't talk so much about that kind of things, material things. If it will not help us, but just do Krishna Katha. Just always think of Krishna. Always try to love Him, you know, to serve Him with all your heart, your word, and your body. You know, try to do that, and yes, at least we become much more happier. And you will never leave the association of devotee. You will never leave. Actually, the great hell for me, and I don't want to speculate, but this is only my opinion. So please excuse me, because this is not. I'm not quoting some references, but for me, the greatest hell is leaving the association of devotee and never come back again. Never come back again in this association of devotee. This is the greatest hell for me. This is the greatest loss. This is the greatest loss. When you leave the association of devotee, and when you know you just fall in the dark pit of hell, you know, and ignorance, you know. And this is for me the greatest loss. And I wish no devotee to leave the association of devotee. We are, you know, in the right place. So please, let us do our best just to become more and more Krishna conscious and to chant and dance in Vaikuntha together. Let us go to Vaikuntha together. Please, just leave this material world. Today, you know, I was very sad. I go to some supermarket and I watch them buy this, buy that. They don't care about Ikadashi. They don't care about you chant the holy name. They don't know God. They don't know themselves. I was sad to see situation. They don't know who they are. They think that this is the best thing, you know, here, to eat and to have sex. What is that? You know? And we get introduced to this Krishna consciousness. We get introduced to the association of devotee, great devotee, and we cannot be the same. You know, please just try to transform yourself. Try to understand that, yeah, we are not this body. Just that, you know, we are not this body. We need to really realize that they can live their life like this, you know, satisfy their senses, so on, so on. But we should remind them that we are not this body and they are not this body, then your preaching will be successful, because you will preach with all your heart. And this is what I try to convince myself every day when I do Halinam around physically. Sometimes I can feel that, I'm not very strong. But then I remind myself that I am not this body. The body can be tired, the body can be exhausted, but the soul will never be exhausted to glorify the Lord. The soul will never be exhausted to chant the holy name of the Lord. The soul will never be exhausted to preach the glories of the Lord. The body will, not the soul. So I just remind myself every time that I got this feeling that, oh, I'm tired, this world is so, so messy, so hellish. But yeah, I remind myself that I'm not this body, I'm spirit, soul, and I'm an eternal servitor of Sri Krishna, and I need to chant the holy name. At least I need to do that. And then I feel good. So please just do that. Just chant, just like I shared this quote, of Prabhupada. Some devotee ask, what should we do when the war will come? When Saikachi Prabhu said also, we just chant. Prabhupada said, we just chant the holy name. That's all. That's all, Prabhus. That's all. We just chant. We don't need to do other things. Other things are unnecessary. Will not help us to become more and more Krishna conscious and to get us out of this misery. So, yeah, I'm very sorry that once again I just preach. I just talk so much, but I got fired up, and I just want to tell you all that I saw every one of you endeavors, every day try to chant, try to be regulate, try to attend the reading sessions. Saikachi Prabhu, Neil Prabhu, Lebong Prabhu, Vivek Prabhu, everyone, Pranjal Prabhu, no, Rahul Prabhu, no, everyone is becoming so serious, and I'm very proud to be in that association of so sincere devotees. So we just keep going, and we try to follow the footsteps of the Acharya, realizing the scripture is like this, there is Gyan, but there is also Vigyan. We need to realize those Gyan, those knowledge. Otherwise, we will remain third-class devotee. And third-class devotee will fall down. We need to become Madhyama Adhikari. Madhyama Adhikari is always absorbed in devotional service, always absorbed to preach the message of the Lord. Try to do that, and you will become successful in this life. I will become successful. So thank you very much, and I'm very sorry that I end up
Thank you very much,
so
Prabhu.
much.
Thank you very much.
It's very nice.
I just wanted to, today was very exhausted for me, because I saw that, this world is so doomed, and they all are demoniac, and they all engage every day in sense gratification. I want to eat that, I want to do that. They will laugh like some demons,
Yes.
and you will look at them and you will say, wow, I'm alone physically in that mess, in that hellish condition of life. I should take this Krishna consciousness seriously, because this is not the right place, to live. And when I attend the reading session, then, oh, I found my peace of mind, you know. And then I realized, oh, yes, association of devotee, you know, this is my resting place. This is my resting place. And this is not only my resting place, but this is our resting place. This group, this ISKM association of devotee, you know, this is our real home. And I'm very happy to be part of this association of devotee. Without you all, yes, I will be, you know, I will fall down, you know. I will fall down, for sure. But because you are here, and yeah, I'm able to speak, I'm able to do certain things. I'm not qualified for anything. I can't even chant properly. I can't even speak properly. I think that I'm not so good in everything actually, you know. But when I'm in association of devotee, then everything material disappear. And then I realize that, yeah, I'm a spirit soul and I'm in the right place now. So you are my ashlaya. This is the refuge. Ashlaya, I think this is the Sanskrit word. So this association of devotee is like an ashlaya for me, you know. It's a refuge where I can practice Krishna consciousness nicely, when I can think about the Lord nicely. So thank you for accepting me, and thank you for listening to a rascal like me, you know, who don't even know who he is really, you know. I need to remind myself every time that I'm not this body, I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. I need to do that every time. So I go outside and I chant. And sometimes I will cry also, because I will pray to the Lord, please pick me up. I'm here and this is hellish condition of life. Please help me. You know, I'm desperate. And I'm not ashamed to tell you that, because, you know, we are so desperate in this human form life. We just can't do what Lord Gorenga came for. He came for give us freely the pure love of God, you know, Krishna Prem. So what we have to do and what we need to do and what we must do is to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and just be happy, and we will be happy.
Yes,
We will be happy if we just take in association of devotee and avoid the association of materialistic people and world. We will be happy
yes,
and peaceful. So I wish and I hope and I will do everything. I will do everything to help you according to my capacity, to encourage you, to motivate you, to push you. Because what matters the most is that we realize that we are not this body. And then everything will be finished. We will be in this life liberated in Krishna consciousness. So I hope that at least I didn't disturb the whole session. I'm very sorry about that. But thank you very much for being there, all of you. Thank you for chanting the holy name. Thank you for serving His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Thank you for reading his book. Thank you for trying to be a devotee. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful and I'm very happy and proud and honored to be in such association of devotees. Thank you very much. And Jai.
Gauri Shakti Prabhu ki jai.
Thank you so much for your kind association. Always God Shakti Prabhu. You're the most
Thank you, Gauri Shakti
inspiring
Prabhu, for the association.
Prabhu. This is amazing.
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you for listening to a rascal like me. Yeah, you are so dear to me and so important
No
that
Prabhu, you're not Raska.
sometimes I just can't stop myself. I need more mouth. I need more, to speak about the glories of the devotee of Krishna. I need more mouth because when I saw you all, in the japa session, in the reading session, in the East Agostine, and we try to elevate this group and to make much more appealing to those who are not serious and not so active. Try to serve the senior preacher. We try our best, despite all the things that we face. This is so inspiring. That sometimes I just want to express, how grateful I am. How grateful I am to be in such association that make me more and more Krishna conscious, make me more and more attached to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, more attached to Krishna Katha, more attached to his devotee, And yeah, I'm just a slave, I'm just a slave. I just want to become the servant of the servant of the servant. Just want to serve you all, with all my heart. Because I realize that this is the real thing. This is the real thing. I serve so much my senses for so many innumerable time, and now I am here, fortunate. I am here, and whatever I can do, I will do. Whatever the Lord let me do, I will do it. So please just remind yourself that you are not alone. Here in Reunion Island, when I do Harinam Sankirtan sometimes for 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 hours, I chant, and I'm not alone. You are all with me, and I will always say that. You are all with me in my heart. And this is what makes me more and more Krishna conscious every day. To think about the devotee. To think about you all. I'm not capable to think about Krishna properly, but I can think about his devotee. And when I think about his devotee, then my mind becomes peaceful and happier. So let us become this big family that we never had, In the material world, we can never have this type of family. Only in the spiritual world, we can have this type of family. So let us become this wonderful family. And let us chant together and dance together and help each other. Let us become more and more Krishna conscious together. Cooperate nicely, and this will be our success. This will be our success. Now, I don't want to speak no more. Thank you so much for everything, for this opportunity to express my heart. And
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare
I will.
Krishna.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Prabhu.
much,
Sorry.
Prabhu.
And
Gauri Shakti Prabhu
yeah,
ki jai. All Gauri
Hare
Shakti Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, and yeah, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jai.
Jai.
Jai Shri Prabhu.
Okay, now let's read this last part.
I will read, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhu, can continue. Sorry for interrupting. But okay. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has also warned Vishayera Ana Kahile Dushta Haya Mana. By eating food prepared by worldly people, one's mind becomes wicked. Unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further the Krishna consciousness movement. Therefore, on principle, one should not accept charity from the Mayavadis or atheistics. Indeed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has forbidden devotees to associate even with ordinary men who are too addicted to material sense gratification. The conclusion is that we should always keep company with devotees, observe the regular devotional principles, follow in the footsteps of acharyas, and in full obedience carry out the orders of spiritual master. In this way, we shall be able to develop our devotion service and government Krishna conscious. The devotee who is neither a neophyte nor a Mahabhagavata, a greatly advanced devotee, but is within the middle status of devotion service, is expected to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, make friends with the devotees, show favor to the ignorant, and reject the jealous and demonic. In these verses, there is brief mention of the process of making loving transactions with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and making friends with the devotees. According to the Dati principle, an advanced devotee is supposed to spend at least 50% of his income on the service of the Lord and his devotees. Srila Rupa Goswami has set just as an example in his life. When he dedicated to retire, he distributed 50% of his life's earnings to Krishna's service and 25% to his relatives and kept 25% for personal emergencies. These examples should be followed by all devotees. Whatever one's income, 50% should be spent on behalf of Krishna and his devotees, and this will fulfill the demands of Tadati. In the next verse, Srila Rupa Goswami informs us what kind of Vaishnava should be selected as a friend and how Vaishnavas should be served. Haribo. Thanks so much, Prabhu.
Haribo. Thank you, Prabhu. चेतोदर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिकावितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदां पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मास्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
नाम्नामकारि बहुधानि च सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पितनियमितस्मरणेन काल एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशम् इहाजनी नानुरागः ऋणादपि सुनीचेन
तलोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानिना मनादेन कीर्तनीया सदा हरि. Sorry, bro.
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितं वा जगदीशकामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहैतुकी त्वयि
विषवे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजा सचम कृपया तव पादपङ्कजा सतती पादपङ्कजा चित्तधूलि सदृशं विचिन्तया
Nayanam Galadashludayalam Adanam Gadgada Yuddala Gira Pulakhayin Chitam Vapukadam Kavanam Gahane Bhavishyati.
गायितं निमेषेन चक्षुषा परपैशायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दं विरहेण मे
Lishyavam Padalatam Pinashtunam Al Dashanam Al Mahatam Kalutuvam Yatha Tatava Vidatatulam Pato Matplananatastu Saivana Palam.
Haribol, glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to even living beings. Thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your costless devotional service birth after birth.
O son of Maharaja Nanda Krishna, I am a ruthless awaiter and some more other. I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my speech decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up and when will the hairs of my body stand and end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling your separations, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years of more tears of flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace and makes me broken heart. By not being present before me, he is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shri Shastakam teacher.
Jai. Okay, then the 10 offenses to the holy name. First offense, to blaspheme the devotees who had dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu.
Third offense, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master and to consider him to be an ordinary man.
Fourth offense, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in the Vedic scriptures in the perseverance of the Vedic version.
Fifth offense, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination.
Sixth offense, to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord.
Seventh offense, to commit sinful activities in strength of the holy name.
The eighth offense, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the spiritual religious activities which are offered in the Vedas and devotees in Uganda.
Ninth offense, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
10th offense, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment. Even after understanding so many instructions on this matter, it is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prem.
Let us offer our humble
Let us offer our humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like desire trees, who can fulfill all desire and are full of compassion for the falling conditioned soul. Vancha kalpatalu yascha kripa sindhu vyayeva cha patitanam bhavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Linde ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bo.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you so much for
Thank
us.
you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Gaura Shakti Prabhu, for giving us inspiring speech. It was really nice. Now we have more motivation to go and preach. Thank you.